Hello everyone and welcome back to Lotus Premier Education. My name is Amanda and I want to be your college tutor. Today we're going to be talking about the Brown video submission. So a lot of students that we work with will do all of the supplements, get really excited about their Brown application, and then say, wait a second, there's a video component? Yes, there is a video piece to the Brown application. What happened was, a few years ago, Brown decided to substitute their alumni interviews with a student-directed video. The video is 2 minutes long, and they ask you to basically show a piece of yourself, to dress casually like you would for a school day, and not to be too fancy on your editing, just to let them see a little bit of who you are, just as they would if you were doing an admissions interview. Now, of course, this is a very important video, right? Especially for students whose top choice is Brown. So how do we make sure to do the video to the best of our ability? Well, in this video, we're going to cover a few tips to how to make the best video possible and also share one of the best videos that we saw on our end. So when working on the Brown video, you should not film the video randomly. You should sit down and really think about the things that make you you and also the things that you want to share with your admissions officer. Remember that you're going to be filming the video in context with all of your Brown application materials, like your Common App essay and your supplements. So you shouldn't be too repetitive on what you're saying. For example, if you talk about how you're a dancer in one of your main Brown supplements, you shouldn't make the whole video about dancing. You should use this as a space to share something new about yourself. We have a whole other video on the Brown supplements. You're welcome to check them out back on our page. So before you start filming the video, you really want to sit down and say, okay, what do I want the admissions committee to know about me that I haven't already stated? The other thing you want to think about is that you only have 2 minutes, so you shouldn't try to fit so many things into the video. You should focus on 1 or 2 main takeaways that you really want them to know about you. Now, a lot of students feel pressure to make these videos fancy and super edited, and if that's your style, go for it. But if it's not your style, you shouldn't feel pressure to do this. What you should think about and what you should really try to do is to make a video that is authentic to you. So for example, one of the best videos that we saw was a student who was really poetic, really into writing, really kind of transcendental in their approach to life. And the way that they filmed the video is they went to their favorite spot and they sat down and they talked about one overarching idea. So that is what we recommend for the video, is you pick that one idea, that one takeaway, and you frame the whole video around it. You could do something creative, like if you're into poetry, you could do a little spoken word situation where you talk about yourself through that poetic lens. But the biggest tip for the Brown video is to make sure that 1 or 2 clear ideas about you are being conveyed in a creative way, but not in a way that puts too much pressure on yourself. Now, one thing to really keep in mind about the Brown video, like we talked about, is that it is going to be viewed in context with the rest of your application. So you also want to think not only about doing something that is not redundant with your essays, but also about picking an idea that's going to support the rest of your application. So if you're saying one thing in your essays and really leaning one way in your narrative, what could you do in your video that's just going to add a little bit of context or spin, but also kind of lift up what you're already saying? Lastly, before you start the Brown video, you want to remember what Brown values. What kind of school are they? So start with your ground research. Go back onto their admissions page. If you visited the school, go back into your notes and really think about the type of student that Brown values. They like creative thinkers. They like students who are out of the box. And you know that you're unique in your own way. So find ways to really show your unique side and match it up with the school's personality. So our last couple of tips for the Brown video. Number 1, start with a brainstorm and go in with a plan. Do not film the video casually and off the cuff. Number 2, focus on 1 or 2 really clear takeaways that you can frame the whole video around. Number 3, add a little bit of creativity or a little bit of spice in your own unique way. And number 4, make sure that you go into this video with a plan to have fun. This is not something that should stress you out and not something that should add extra pressure to the process, but it is something that should round out your application in a really holistic, personal, and unique way. We hope this video was helpful. For more expert admissions tips, join us on Lotus Premier Education. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment on our videos, and we'll get back to any of the questions you may have. And we look forward to seeing you soon on Lotus Premier Education.